All right, Dr. Taylor, welcome back.
Oh,
Um,
thank you for having me.
it is 2026. Some people have New Year's resolutions. Do you have anything new out there that you're working on, or that's encompassing your attention going into the 2026 season?
Well, thank you for asking. I have a brand new series. It's called the Truth Seeker Black History Video Series, and it
Mm.
consists of 31 videos, and each video is only 1 minute, so that is doesn't require a lot of attention from students. But it's professionally created, and each video dispels a myth about Black history. For example, let's say there's a myth that said Black people arrived in the United States without any skills. Well, the truth seeker, who is the narrator and the sage in the video series, explains clearly. He takes you to Africa and shows you all the skills that Black people possessed before they came here, and shows clearly how these skills helped build this country and help create the wealth in this country. So 31 myths, 31 truths. And this year, I'm also going to be creating 31 more uh, videos in this series, and 31 videos specifically for Juneteenth. So those are the projects I'll be working on for the next couple of months.
And it's called the Truth Seeker series.
Truth Seeker series. And if you go to my website, drcharlestaylor.com, uh, starting tomorrow, you'll be able to access that series. And there's at least 3 or 4 sample videos that you can watch for free, so that you get a feel for what the series is all about.
Okay. Um, I am entering it. I'm going to save it here. I'm going to see if it shows across. I'm experimenting with this thing here.
Okay.
Truth Seeker series. www.drcharlestaylor. That misspelled that. CharlesTaylor.com. It showed up on my link there. Do you see it below?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Great. So now people know where to find you at. I find, like I was telling you, talking to you is like talking to Afrocentric Library. I feel very privileged that you are coming online and you're sharing your wealth of knowledge and research with the community. I definitely think it's valuable. I'm definitely going to look into it for my kids. As a professional who sort of lives out in the suburbs area, my kids are out in the suburbs area. Sometimes I question whether my kids are as in tune with their history and themselves as it relates to their history as they should be. So this is definitely something that I think is going to be personally valuable on my end. That I can say that without unashamedly, without it looking too promotional. But I really do. I mean, it fits right within where I'm at right now with my kids. So I'm hoping that it's beneficial, not just for my kids as African American, but I think it's beneficial across the board with regards to helping communities understand history as it relates to Black contribution more thoroughly. So appreciate it.
And I appreciate that. And it will clearly, hopefully, give Black kids pride in their history and their background when they experience what their ancestors have accomplished and all the myths about our history. And that's why I wrote this series, to dispel these myths, to replace them with truth, and to give Black folks pride in our culture, in our history, and to know that we're capable of great things, and Africa is going to rise again.
Love it. We've probably talked about quite a bit as it relates to. I love that you are extremely knowledgeable on current technology, and that just amazes me. I don't know how many people within your age bracket have that much knowledge on topics related to like things like ChatGPT. So let's just do like a ChatGPT corner here while we're talking here. What's been your current experience with AI technology as of recent? What have you been tapping into?
Well, I use ChatGPT daily. I also use Perplexity and Claude
Okay.
and other programs.
Okay.
And when I do my uh, social media campaign next week, I'll be using MailerLite. I'll be using a program called Mary Cool. I'll be using a program called Bumper, So there's so many, like every day there's a new program. And what I tell people, if you go to a site called, there's an AI for that, that lists probably
Okay.
all of the AI programs that are out there and are coming on the scene almost on a daily basis. And it has it categorized. So if you're looking for something, let's say for marketing or for writing or whatever it is, you'll find it on that site. But what you have
Interesting.
to do is just determine what is your need and then
Mhm.
find the software that's available to meet that need.
There's an AI for that
Yep.
website, so I'm definitely going to look into it. I know I'm looking to streamline what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm gonna don't consider this an ageist comment here, but you're older in years. What use you know you're in the latter you're in the fourth quarter of your life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, you know, and for individuals who are in their fourth quarter, they may not see as much of a use for technology like this. But how do you think it could benefit individuals within your age bracket or season in life?
Oh, I would say you name it. Let's say health. Uh,
Mhm.
if you have a health problem, you can ask AI to search the medical journals from around the world and write you a personal health plan that your doctors may not even be aware of. And
Mm.
so whether it's health, whether it's fitness, whether it's food, I can't think of a thing that AI cannot help you with. And so anybody that comes to my house that doesn't know I immediately bring them to my home office, sit them down, and I give them a 30-minute lesson. So when they leave here, they've got a new skill. So
Wow.
that and it
Okay.
benefits them immediately.
Um, you're what's in your opinion, like what's right now Google is all the technically search engines, popular search engines like Google and Bing, they're all coming up with their forms of AI search.
Sure.
What's the difference between using their generic AI search and AI tools like ChatGPT or Perplexity?
Well, Google and it's still a great searching tool, but it can't get in the depth of things that you need. For
Okay.
for instance, let's say you're looking for a speech by Frederick Douglass. Google can give you a list. AI can give you the speech. It can analyze the speech for you, highlight the speech, summarize it, make an ebook for you. It can do tens of things that Google could never do at this point.
Okay. Now you said you use Perplexity. I'm familiar with it. What's the difference between Perplexity and ChatGPT? Are they like the exact same thing? Like I,
They're not the exact same thing. ChatGPT came out first, but
Mhm.
Perplexity is catching up. But right now, ChatGPT is sort of the leader, especially their 5.2 version.
Yeah.
There's Claude, there's Poe, and there's Copilot. And out of all these, ChatGPT is still the leader.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good to know. That leads me into my other question regarding this. Okay. So, you talk about going to the website and there's an AI for that website, and, you know, how, you're right. There are tons of AI tools out there. How do you know which tools to invest in? Because they all cost money.
That's
Not all of them are free. And there's like a bajillion of them out there.
yeah.
Um, how do you how do you decipher what to invest in as it relates to that? What's your
That's a
you
great
know
question. And but see again, you no longer have to do that. All you have to do is ask AI to make a comparison of all the. Let's say you need a tool in marketing.
okay.
AI, tell me what the five top tools are in marketing. Uh,
Mm,
Give me
okay.
your results in the column. Compare the costs. Compare what they do, so
Yeah.
that I can make a rational decision. And so, as long as you give AI the context and complete information, it'll just it'll give you these choices, and then you can make the best choice that fits your needs.
Okay.
I, I do that for all, even shopping. I don't care what it is now. I will ask AI to make a comparison. I say I need a computer. I'll say, make a comparison, and it'll ask you some questions as well. Matter of fact, you can tell AI if ask me some questions so that you understand clearly what I want, and then when I think you know what I want, I'll tell you that you can go ahead and proceed. And so there's always ways to use it so that you really dig deep and get the information that you need.
Yeah, I've got right now. I'm working on some software development.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say it out loud too much because they have to be careful. But I recruited an AI. I actually recruited an AI researcher.
Okay.
And sort of analyst, and he's cold blooded. I can't even say his name. He's probably watching. He probably watches at some point. He's cold blooded, and I just recruited a software engineer, sort of project manager to help build software around my company.
Sure.
Long story, particularly my mental health offerings, because I think we're in an era where the common man can duplicate software that they're currently using or whatever else they're using. So I'm trying to get to the edge point within my particular profession, which I think is light years ahead of my competition. Like by the time everybody else catches up, AI is not mainstream yet. We're in the gold rush of AI use as far as how it helps everybody become competitive.
Yeah.
So, if in my personal opinion, if companies do not have AI teams as part of their department, they are losing right now.
Oh, without a doubt. And ChatGPT, even if people my age, I tell them if you don't know how to type, it's okay. They have a voice feature. You can just talk to it and tell it exactly what you want, and it'll talk back to you. And so there's no excuse now not to use it. Yeah. And if you look at what China is doing with AI, good Lord, they're so far ahead of everybody. But and now Africa is getting to the picture too, especially Nigeria and Kenya. They have some great AI programs. So I'm really proud of those countries.
Yeah, the race is on, man. This is interesting. This is an interesting era that we're in. We are in like this dispensation, this next dispensation. First it was the internet for us in our generation, but for the next generation, it's going to be robotics and AI that's going to just take over.
Without a doubt. And Black folks need to be in the mix in all areas.
Yeah, I have AI on my phone. I've got AI. I tap the AI on my computer. I'm talking to AI. I'm trying to engage with AI at least once a day.
Yes.
To help me facilitate my thought process, streamline how I maneuver things as a business owner. I'm even finding AI to be a better consultant than consultants out there.
Yeah.
I want to frame this as a question because I don't want to talk too much because I'm excited about the AI just as much as I'm excited that you are fully enmeshed in it. I need to frame it into a question because I was going to make a statement with regards to
make the statement, and I'll just respond to the statement.
AI is going to replace a lot of these major industries like architecture, legal services. What is your take on how it replaces these industries? Do you have an opinion about that?
Well, it's sort of inevitable, and I think what people need to do is one, learn AI, because the car replaced the buggy, the refrigerator replaced the ice bucket, and so there's going to be some disbursement. But now we can prepare for that, and if we have to think about alternative lifestyles, and we have to think about a different role for the government, because the government is going to have to either guarantee people jobs or guarantee people incomes if their jobs are replaced. And during that transition, I want as many people as possible to learn AI, because you're going to create tons of millionaires off of AI. And I love to see Black folks in that mix.
Yeah, man, we're in this gold rush, man. People just don't know. Like you're saying, AI has the potential to turn the common man into a millionaire overnight.
Absolutely.
You just have to plug. You just got to keep plugging at it, kind of this.
Yeah.
What are the and I definitely think that the government's going to have to like subsidize this in some type of way. Absolutely. No different than they would farmers when they struggle to
or big oil companies.
What's that?
Or big oil companies.
Or big oil companies or banks.
Billionaires.
Right. what do you think are the danger of AI then, if we see all these benefits?
Yeah, the danger is like we're already experiencing ID theft,
Hmm.
identity theft. You're talking about lack of privacy, uh,
Hmm.
and literally, I could have an AI image talking to you right now, and the software is such now where I could train it to recognize certain questions and respond in different ways.
Right.
And so AI, we're going to have to be able to distinguish between reality and AI. And that's the biggest danger. But the overall largest danger is using it in nefarious ways for military purposes and for evil purposes. That's the big danger. And our government is going to be one of the biggest perpetrators, but AI has the ability to destroy uh, electric grid so people freeze in the winter. It has the ability to do all kinds of dangerous things.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I'm curious as to how it's going to disrupt society from a standpoint of fraudulent use.
Yeah,
That and how that gets regulated.
yeah,
You know, we've already got a such thing like we've already got a such thing as the dark web, for crying
yeah,
out loud.
yeah,
Like that is only going to be like exponentially exploited. But
absolutely.
but I don't know if they're familiar with the dark web. I'm very naive to it, but from what I've read about it, the government has a tap on the dark web. It's like there's nothing you can't really do in the dark web that's not technically monitored by the government. Are you familiar with the dark web?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the thing. The thing is, everything that the government thinks it can regulate, somebody else can get around it. But
Hmm.
you're going to be able to create AI tools that will keep checking each other for that kind of stuff. And
Hmm.
that's going to be always the battle, because you have to. So I hate to put it in these simple terms, but you have the good and the bad, the good and the evil, and they're that in AI, because you got players that are all they're interested in is money or disruption, and so you have to find a way to check those kinds of players out there.
Yeah, um, I remember when electric cars. I remember seeing the electric car go through its level of adoption within society.
Yeah.
Um, start, with Elon Musk sort of spearheading it. There was hybrid cars prior to that, but Elon Musk sort of made it popular to
Hmm.
drive, electric vehicles. Long story short,
Sure.
um, um, the robotics is coming right behind, coming right up in front of us.
Absolutely.
We haven't seen the robots, but they're coming.
Yeah.
We know that they're out there, and they're going to end up being integrated in society. What are your thoughts on the robotics and its integration in society, I suppose?
Well, I hate to keep sounding like a broken record, but China is already ahead in that game. They have whole factories where if you go inside a factory, it's completely dark because robots don't need any light, and robots control the whole factory, all the automation. So it's already here. China and Japan are probably the top two countries right now in robotics. United States is third, but it's catching up. But yes, robots will be a big player. And again, because AI has the ability to make things simple and break it down, there is no excuse almost for anybody to learn these new skills. You don't have to know coding. You don't have to be an engineer. All you have to do is have an open mind and have some time to learn these skills. And we could have a revolution in the Black community just learning AI and transforming that. And that's what I'm hoping in some of these African countries who have contracts with China. I hope that's one of their outcomes.
Yeah, going back to the question of danger of AI, I think the same danger of AI is the same danger of any technology and advancement in technology that meets a consumer market that's not ready for it. I think there is a danger of complacency and lack of utilizing the full utility of it
Yeah.
for each individual consumer. Like we have enough technology in this cell phone. There's enough technology. The technology that we have in the cell phone is more than the technology that they had to take people to the moon. All
Yeah.
right,
Absolutely.
we have a supercomputer in our hands. But if you hand this to a kid, all it looks like is a toy device to play video games. And a lot of kids don't even capitalize off of the economic and learned utility of the cell phone in his hand. So how in the world are we going to introduce AI to a generation that already doesn't know how to use the old technology correctly?
Well, that's an education problem. That's a solvable problem.
Okay.
That's sort of like the series that I created, because I knew kids that they don't like even 5-minute videos. But if you give them a 1-minute video that tells them the truth about their history, man, you just see their eyes light up. My concern is their parents. I've had unfortunately some black parents tell me that AI is the devil's work. You know,
Oh my goodness.
and if you have that kind of attitude, you know, you're holding your community back. You have to let that go. And so if you can get past those kinds of attitudes to see the benefits, I took some time with that parent when she said that, because I couldn't believe it at first. You know, I had her repeat it, and then when she repeated it, I said, well, let's just break that down. I don't know if I convinced her, but I think she at least now knows there's a different alternative.
Yeah, I saw some, not to put a slant on religion. I'm gonna believe in Jesus Christ. I'm a man of faith.
Sure.
But I've seen some etchy sermons probably in the last month or so, talking about the doom of society through AI technology and robotics. Have you seen any of these?
I've seen a lot of that foolishness. That's one of the things that, you know, that really you have to question religion when it gets into those kinds of science areas that it has little knowledge of, but it tells a whole congregation of the evils of that industry.
Yeah, so
it holds people back.
You know, I was debating with a minister friend of mine. I got a couple of friends who are knee deep in ministry, and love to get in debates and just educational, you know, types of exchange with them.
Sure.
And you know, we're talking about how the dependency on technology, how it can possibly distort or warp religious belief by having a dependency on it.
Well, you know, I hope that it would challenge religious beliefs. That would be my hope. That now you can research who wrote the Bible, when was it written,
right? How
in the world are we supposed to follow some scriptures that said women are supposed to be stoned to death if they commit adultery? I mean, there's so many stories. You know, Mary was a virgin. There's so many stories in the Bible that you can question, but now you can go all the way back and get some answers that we weren't able to get these answers 5 years ago.
Right? Yeah, I mean, you can't out-explain belief. You can't out-explain sort of the irrational narratives in the Bible, like the flood, for instance, or you know, like I don't know the ChatGPT can do due diligence with regards to explaining certain things in the Bible, because some of it require you to believe that those things actually existed and are not just fragmented pieces that siphon it off of other type of cultures or have been stolen from other type of cultures.
AI has the ability to look at all religious texts and make comparisons. It has the ability to break it down and say, is this truth? Is this a myth?
Yes.
Is this storytelling back in their culture?
But doesn't it have the capacity?
And so it has that capacity. You still have to make the final judgment. But if you can read a chapter, you know, that says something that you know this couldn't be true, and you believe that because the Bible said it's true, I mean, why can't AI counter that?
Yeah, I think there's levels of distorted explanation and interpretation that AI is still handicapped by, just in general.
Give me an example.
If I go into AI right now and I tell it to do something, it doesn't necessarily give me the most efficient way of doing things. That's a misinterpretation of the use of AI. Actually, well, AI accumulates information based off what it gathers from the internet, and it tries to give you the best answer. But that answer is not a perfectly aligned answer. There are flaws in its logic on how it takes input and gives output still.
Yeah, there's still a ghost of information, but every year it gets better. But all AI is doing is regurgitating the information that it has gotten from us. But if you have all the libraries in the world on AI, or AI has access to all those libraries, you'll be able to sort out some things. You'll be able to, because it puts it in a way that you can make some comparisons, and then you can have double references. You can check and recheck. Whereas right now, most people just are talking from opinion. And so
Yeah,
at least you have something to hang your hat on.
it gives you information. I don't know whether it gives you wisdom or intuition.
It may not give you intuition, but you already have that. And you have the ability to use that information to make money, to make life better, to
Yes.
do a number of things. And that's the gift of AI.
Yes, absolutely. It can give you extremely exact information based off of concrete rules or concrete things that are concrete information. Like if I want to know how to evict a tenant and I uploaded all of the judicial rules, it'll tell me step by step how to execute flawlessly
Absolutely.
an eviction without the need of a lawyer. Or if I downloaded all the judicial rules, the state district rules as it relates to maybe or Iowa ordinances or whatever you want to call it as it relates to how the rules associated with business, and I want to come up with a business contract, it could do that without the use of a lawyer. That's why I was like, man, lawyers,
Right.
It's going to be dangerous. Or it could take the information, the state regulations as it relates to how to structure a building, and give you exact specs
Absolutely.
on. Oh my goodness, that right there. Anyways, I went off on a tangent there a little bit,
No,
but
and that's what I'm saying. That's the value of it. I mean, you name a profession, you can learn the skill on AI without ever going to school, without ever touching a day in the classroom. And so, one of the things I'm upset with the educational system is they should be teaching our kids AI from kindergarten all the way through college. They should have
dude,
at least one class that's mandatory. That's what
yeah.
China that's what China's doing. So they're automatically 20 years from now, you're already going to see who the leaders are in AI. They've
But
already got a head start, and that's
yeah,
what we're
there
doing.
are levels to the AI stuff. Like most people are only using it like a Google search device right now.
Right,
But
right.
you can formulate information within AI to tell you to present it in a certain type of way to guarantee a certain type of output almost. And that is amazing. Like my AI researcher, he's telling me some stuff that is beyond my pay grade that I know I need to catch up with in order to be competitive in the AI race. He's telling me how he's refining rules and giving it rules that guarantee a certain level of successful output to him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. Anyways,
And that's what I want for everyone. That type of access and that type of use, because you can now be self-employed. You can almost make some money immediately, and AI is so sophisticated that it can tell you based on a series of questions what's your best skill level and maybe what you should consider. And so there's really no excuse. If we have, I would love to put a whole group of homeless people and people who are been in jail, people don't have second chances, and teach them all about AI. So now they can support themselves.
I wonder how it's going to impact the stock market. Imagine that. Look, me going into ChatGPT and say, how can I make $100,000 this year by only depositing with $100? Where do I best? You don't think at some point, if
Oh
I
yeah.
refine my ChatGPT mechanisms enough and give it enough generic information, in other words, I don't even need to know exactly how to tell ChatGPT, but if I give it enough book information, that it won't tell me exactly how to turn $100 into $100,000. Am I over exaggerating this?
No, because there's already some apps that claim that ability. They're too new for that, but some have been pretty successful.
Mm,
Some have made people a millionaire.
I don't
And so
doubt it.
I get
Yeah.
one every day about the stock. If you do this, do that. I just don't have time to even look at it right now. But that's getting even more sophisticated as well.
Yeah, but that goes back into something that you originally that I originally asked about. is yes, AI helps you find it, but it starts turning into a thing where there's just so much information with regards to how to use AI that it's almost a little bit daunting with regards to exactly how to prompt AI to give you the results that you need. Because you have to be sort of good or have to learn how to do prompt engineering, and even go beyond that if you're going to really leverage AI to its full capacity.
But that's true. But again, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is ask AI, what type of prompt do I need? And matter of fact, you say, write me the correct prompt that I need in order to achieve whatever goal you got in mind. AI will give you a list of prompts, questions, and all that. So you don't even have to know that.
Yeah, but most people don't even have enough sense to even ask it like that. Hell, I didn't. There really is a limitation to imagination. Again, you have this huge supercomputer in your pocket, but there's so much capacity that you don't really know exactly what to do with it, because it still requires a certain level of imagination, a certain level of education on what I can ask it and how I can ask it in order to get results and feedback that's actually going to benefit me. So,
but you can go to an AI seminar. I took one last year, and
nice.
A friend of mine, he's from Canada, and he has created a series of prompts that you have to fill out and ask about your personal self, your goals, and all that. And then when AI answers that, they give you a picture of who you are, what your strengths are. It is just excellent. And so there are programs like that that can help you get started. That's why I say if we taught it in our schools, man, our community could really take the next step forward.
Yeah, I think there's a missed area in this conversation. I don't know whether you utilize ChatGPT or AI like this, but with my ChatGPT account, ChatGPT now has accumulated information about me, which then helps it cater information to me. Absolutely. and helps refine. And I think that's a huge opportunity when you talk about bridging AI into the younger, particularly African American community, about almost having this AI friend.
Yeah.
And it reminds me, this conversation, especially as it relates to AI and you, it reminds me about my daughter right now. My daughter is talking to Alexis like it's her best friend at this point.
Okay.
I said that as correct, and Alexis is taking a whole lot of weight off of us as parents right now, because it's giving her empathetic answers where if our daughter continue to ask us those questions, we would run out of empathy.
That's great. But that sounds like she likes it and she's familiar with it. And kids are the quickest adopters of new technology.
But she has a relationship with it.
Yeah, and that's fine, because there are people, believe it or not, there was a case on court that this woman was suing her friend for. I don't know if you saw this. She was suing her friend $5,000 because she lived on the East Coast and her friend got married on the West Coast, and her friend married an AI person that she gave a name to, and the friend thought she was going, for a real wedding, and so she wanted all her money back. So that's how personalized some people are making this technology.
Is there danger in that? That's where I was just like, oh yeah, robotics is going to replace us. It's going to replace the human experience. If my daughter is talking to that AI, to Alexis like that, oh, we're done for. It's going to remove the need for human interaction almost.
Well, the sad point is the woman who married the AI agent won her case, and the judge said, "No, you probably, if you knew this guy was a man instead of a voice, would you have come to the wedding?" She said yes, but I was misled. I wasn't told. But the judge, for whatever reason, said that's really not an excuse. This was a wedding. You knew you were going to a wedding. Yada yada yada. And so the woman who married the AI voice won her case.
Oh, that's nasty. I'm pretty sure they're not friends anymore after that.
Yeah, probably not.
And the other person's like, I'll just get an AI friend that has your same personality profile.
But that just tells you all the various uses that you can do with it. And
Yeah, man.
I've trained a lot of people to use it, and they forget. You know, they'll go try to write a 10-page letter to a government agency and all that, and respond to Social Security. All you have to do is let AI give them the letter, let AI respond to it. Take a look at it before you send it in.
Will that cause us to decline intellectually as a race? Now, this is an argument posed by, I don't know if you saw the recent there's a recent TikTok meme or internet meme where a neuroscientist, a teacher turned into a neuroscientist.
Yeah,
I think how he described himself.
sure.
He identified that his research showed that the increase in technology use in schools actually decreased overall student performance and output.
Yeah, there are studies that support that. There are studies that are against that.
Okay.
And I can just tell you, they said the same thing about the internet.
Okay.
Every new technology that's come along, mankind is going to get dumber. Machines are going to take over. Machines still need mankind, and machines are still going to be controlled by mankind until they get so sophisticated that they control themselves. But we're not there yet. But I guess that's one of my least worries, that human beings are going to get. I don't know if we can get any dumber right now, given the world situation that we're in. And so I think this will help us begin to explore what's out there, because AI is presenting so many possibilities that you have to think and learn and dream differently. And so I don't think the human capacity will decrease because of a new technology.
Going back into a comment, a continued message that you continue to preach when I talk with you with regards to the necessity for African American communities, in particular, to start getting in this sort of race,
Absolutely.
technology and AI race. I forecast, and you can correct me, I'm pretty sure you will. I forecast that it's going to be extremely difficult for African American communities, particularly poor African American communities, to adopt it, just because of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That people are so busy trying to survive that they don't have the capacity to educate. And even and let me add to this, that the public education is traditionally like 100 years backwards.
Yeah.
That the established bureaucracy surrounding it is just going to be in extremely low adaptation and adoption, even in the schools right now. Like we should have started immediate adoption of technology in the schools without a shadow of a doubt. I don't even see that taking place. I don't hear the conversations at all. And my forecast is that it's going to be long and far away, because it requires a level of bureaucracy and things to get passed and agreed upon within organized, old-fashioned structures. And there's going to be a fear base associated with it that's going to completely slow it down, which again impacts the African American community, because most parents don't have time to invest like that into their children. So then what is your thoughts on it, and what's the solution?
Well, yeah, I think you're right that technology replicates inequality. That's been proven. But in 1988, when I wrote my dissertation, I did a comparison of computer use among Black students and white students, and there was a gap, but the gap wasn't that as wide as people had thought. And that gap is closing. Most Black folks have iPhones, and many have computers. And even if they don't, they can go to the library to use a computer. But let's say at least 75% of Blacks have iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
With that iPhone, you can learn AI. And so it's a matter of education. It's a matter of our parents, our institutions. But the only way to close that gap is to let people be aware of, and then give them the skills to use it properly.
Yeah, I just don't think there's going to be a natural gravitation towards it, no matter how you present it. That's my doom and gloom thing there. I mean, these kids, our kids have had this technology in their pockets for at least the last 10 years.
But look at TikTok. How many black, they call them influencers, just how many black influencers are on that? I've got a list of 500 bloggers. I mean, our kids are using this technology in very creative ways. I wish there were more, but
it seems like only for entertainment.
I bet if you ask your daughter about TikTok and that kind of stuff, she could tell you. So they're aware of it. I just don't think they know what the capabilities are yet.
Yeah, I'm speaking. I think I'm speaking with regards to the use of STEM as it relates to it, and not just the use of it for entertainment purposes or capitalizing it within a particular entertainment industry.
Absolutely, but
yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're always going to have that gap in STEM. Even before technology, there was that gap in terms of, I don't care if it was just all white community. You don't have 80% going into STEM. You might have 10% or 5%. And so that's always going to be a challenge. But the good thing about technology, more people now can go into STEM because it has learned how to break down tasks, and it learns how you learn, and then it can teach you in the proper manner that is more receptive to how you learn.
I think moreover, what I'm getting at is that the technology gap could increase and get wider between the African American community.
It could, but I guess I'm more optimistic because the resources that are needed to power these computers, these chips and all that, Africa has more of them than any other continent. And so if Africa gets its act together, which some countries slowly are, but 20 years from now, since Africa is the youngest continent on the planet, 30 years from now, we're going to see a revolution in Africa. And I don't mean a violent revolution. I'm talking about a revolution culturally, a revolution economically, a revolution politically. Africa is a place to be in the next 20 to 30 years.
Interesting. I hope that through the use of technology, those of us who have gotten lost in the diaspora here in the States find a connection back to our roots in Africa, and it creates a strong connection to Africa. Now, ironically, I actually have virtual assistants under part of my staff. They are actually in Africa right now, helping me build my brand and all that kind of stuff and do interesting stuff. So I'm enamored by the use of technology. We're using AI, and and I'm having awesome co-working relationships with people in other countries that might even be from my homeland. I don't even know it, but
yes. And that's the power of technology. I have the same relationship. Mine is in the Philippines, but it's and the people who are working on my website are in Canada. And so I've had people do work for me in Nigeria. So it's the workplace now is the world, the planet.
Yeah,
all the technology.
What a wonderful place to be in, man.
Absolutely, right now.
The global marketplace.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I'll end on that note there. I mean, there's a lot of solid nuggets and solid conversation pieces that sort of came about in this wonderful gathering again. Is there any last comments that you have for the audience with regards to what we've talked about, or and then just reiterate how they can find you? I've got you at the bottom here, but you can add any lasting comments.
Yeah, I would encourage everybody again to take a second look at AI and how it can benefit you. There's enough talk about the evil aspects, and serious people are working on that. But there needs to be more talk of the benefits and how it can benefit our community, how it can benefit our businesses, and how it can benefit individual lives. So I would strongly encourage people to make sure their kids are in tune with AI. In terms of what I'm doing with my book and my series, I would invite people to my website, which is strolling on the screen, drcharlestaylor.com. And I think you'll find a wealth of information of that on the website. And then also on the website, if they scroll further down, they'll find some of my old information where I used to help colleges recruit and retain students of color. So there's speeches there's reports, there's all kinds of useful information that people can access for free.
Nice, man. You got your whole legacy on your website. That's what it sounds like.
Well, I'm
Um,
still making that legacy, but you'll
hello,
find some good information.
hello. Yeah. I had one other comment. I was gonna make a suggestion. Wow, you need to be putting some AI stuff on your website. You know, have you ever thought about that? Just adding a little tab at the end and saying, here is, if you want to know about AI, here's, I think that would be a nice hook for you, but that's
Well,
just my comment.
the whole Truth series was made with AI, but when
Yeah.
you're going to when you see his name is also Truth Seeker. When you see Truth Seeker come on stage and dispute all these myths, you can't tell it's AI. Matter of fact,
So,
you
so
won't
this
be
is a
able to tell.
video.
Yes, it's video, but we also have real live footage, so it's really professionally done. It's all video, and you have a narrator, but he disputes each myth
Is this
methodically.
animated?
Pardon me?
Is this animated?
No, it's like real people, like you and
Okay.
I. So all the people in there are real.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, Dr. Taylor, it was a
Yes,
pleasure talking with you.
same here.
We'll do it again, man.
Okay.
Obviously,
If you need me, just call me.
yeah, got you. My dear friend, we'll talk to you later.
All right, you
All
take
right.
care.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye bye.